All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome into the NinjaTrader Ecosystem webinar room. Before we get started with today's session, I would like to take a moment and test for picture and sound. So if you can hear my voice and if you can see the projection for Kwik Pop on the screen, can you type in the letter Y into the room? And this will confirm that you can hear my voice and see the screen. All right. Looks like I'm coming in loud and clear. Thank you, everybody, for confirming that for me. And welcome into the NinjaTrader webinar room today. My name is Ryan Lai, and I work here in the business development team in our Denver, Colorado office. And we have a very special event for you today with Bill Broughman of Kwik Pop. And at this time, before we move forward, I'd like to get a gauge of the type of user in today's attendance. So I'm going to put a quick poll into the room, and the question is, are you using NinjaTrader? So you get a chance to answer the type of NinjaTrader user that you are, and while you're filling out this poll, we'll go over some important disclosures here. It's important for everybody in the room to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodity futures contracts, and you should carefully consider whether such trading is going to be suitable for you. And this will depend on your specific circumstances and financial resources. It is possible to lose all of the funds that you deposit with your broker, and you can even incur losses beyond these amounts. If you have any questions about this, you can always consult our risk disclosure document that I'm posting in the room now for more information. You can also request a copy of the CFTC full risk disclosure. And also, please remember that these training webinars are not a solicitation nor a recommendation for any services, but they're simply educational in nature. And this presentation is being presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading platform. If you have any NinjaTrader brokerage-related questions, they should be directed to the NinjaTrader brokerage directly. You can do that by emailing brokerage@ninjatrader.com. And we also have a phone number, which is 312-262-1289. All right, so we'll review the poll results here really quickly. It looks like in the lead we have our lifetime license key users. So it's great to see that we have committed users looking for our vendors' products. And then we also have quite a few people in the room who are currently not yet using NinjaTrader. I'd like to invite everybody to go ahead and download a free copy of NinjaTrader at the following link, and you can get started for free. If you're looking to purchase or lease a copy of NinjaTrader, you can go ahead and take a look at our purchase and lease options at the following link. All right, so with that being said, we have a very exciting event for you today in which Bill Broughman will share the benefits of the Kwik Pop Consistency Class and various Kwik Pop trading tools. So I wanted to thank everybody again for taking your time out of your schedule and your attendance today. And without any sort of further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome into the NinjaTrader webinar room, Bill Broughman. Go ahead and take it away, Bill.
Thank you, Ryan. Hey, let me do a real quick sound check as well. Can everybody hear me okay? Just a quick yes. There we go. Ryan told me audio is good. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, my name is Bill Broughman. I am the owner of Kwik Pop. I bought Kwik Pop from its original founders, friends of mine, Dick Rashdorf, and the estate of the other founder, Wayne Harrison. Wayne passed away almost 4 years ago now. We have taken the platform of Kwik Pop and we have rebuilt it from the ground up over the last 3 years, and it is now called Kwik Pop 6. We kept all the old tools, we just cleaned up all the code so that it runs faster, runs smoother, and is more efficient not only for you the trader but also for your computer systems. Kwik Pop 6 is a relatively amazing piece, and then when you add on the dynamic power tools, it becomes what I consider to be the premier trading package and system that's available on the market. Yes, Mark, this is being recorded, by the way. So we're here today, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through Kwik Pop, and I'm going to give you just a brief overview of NinjaTrader's new platform, NinjaTrader 8. Guys, this is probably the biggest leap forward in platforms. Again, in my opinion, I've been doing this for a little over 20 years. I have been a NinjaTrader user for a big portion of those. I started out as a as a TradeStation user for a lot of reasons. They were the only ones back when I started out. And they transitioned and they made a bunch of changes, and I found NinjaTrader, and I've been here ever since. So we're going to go over both NinjaTrader 8 and Kwik Pop so that I can give you guys some interesting tidbits that we found about NinjaTrader 8. One of the most exciting pieces of NinjaTrader 8 is they didn't modify the existing NinjaTrader 7 platform. Rather, what they did is they kind of cleaned the table off completely and started over from scratch. Most of you know that NinjaTrader 7 really only ran singularly directional. If you are familiar with computers, it could only do one function at a time. NinjaTrader 8 is designed for the latest, greatest, fastest computers. It is bidirectional, it's multi-core capable, which makes it screaming fast compared to other platforms. So we're going to get to that. I'm going to show you some charts on it and some things that we found. Jim, it's actually gotten real stable. I've found it to be real stable. I'm pretty sure that NinjaTrader doesn't want to hear this, but we held off on this very event because we had the same question you had. Is it stable? I run a big multi-core machine. The one we're on is the machine that we're on is a multi-core. It's a 10-core Intel whatever with a ton of RAM, and it wasn't stable. And we worked directly with the developers at NinjaTrader, and I can tell you, Jim, that it is stable. If you want to call me outside of this event, I'll be glad to chat with you about it. And I don't really have a dog in the fight. 7's out there. 7's a great platform. Yes, I can, Bob. Yes, I can. Okay, so back to our presentation. Kwik Pop's now going into its 18th year. I'll get it up in a little bit, Jim. And if Ryan's listening, maybe Ryan will pop it in there. Ryan, you can put my office number in there if you want. Kwik Pop's been around for going into our 19th year, guys. And we've evolved multiple times, and this is probably the best evolution ever. We have taken the base Kwik Pop system, and Ryan's already done a pretty good disclosure. Remember, guys, this isn't a recommendation of trades. If you question whether or not futures trading is right for you, talk to your CPA, talk to your broker. We are not in the business of making that decision for you. Okay, Kwik Pop's not just a group of indicators anymore. It's an absolute complete trading system. It includes proprietary indicators to generate signals across multiple time frames from a single chart. One of the great leaps forward is the ease with which we can bring data in from other time frames. It makes doing this incredibly easy. We spent a bunch of time winding these indicators, and they're proprietary. They're ours. We have done our best to keep them secure with our own security systems. These are not indicators that are out on 500 platforms. They're ours. We work on them. We make them better every year, and we upgrade all of our users as we make them better. There are 24 proprietary indicators, and there are 4 very unique multi-time frame indicators. We provide you with pre-built workspaces. We run a free Kwik Pop training room that's open Monday through Friday. We open at about 7:30, 8 o'clock Central Time. and it closes with the market in the afternoon. In that room, you can get tech support, you can get answers to questions, you can see our charts running live. The thing we don't do in that room is we don't call trades. We review the market in that room on a regular basis. We'll go over trade setups with you all day long, but we do not call trades in that room. So I don't want any confusion about that. In addition to that, for the first time in our history, we are compatible with a third-party vendor, and that vendor is Bloodhound. Now, Bloodhound's not available on NinjaTrader 8 yet. It's a NinjaTrader 7 platform, but I am told that NinjaTrader 8 is actually in the works. We offer unlimited support, guys. I consider our support to be the best out there, period. I do about 90% of our support personally. The support that I cannot handle, Jeff, I'll deal with that afterwards. In fact, Jeff, if you'll just give me a call after the session, I'll be glad to deal with that with you. I do about 90% of the support myself because I want to see you with the right tools, set up the right way, and running correctly. The support that I can't handle, I have one of the best programmers in the business on my staff, and we turn it over to him. He has solved everything from completely rebuilding the internals of your NinjaTrader where you've removed things from it by mistake or they've gotten removed by a antivirus software, to putting in exclusions for antivirus so that NinjaTrader will run and we will run, to removing corrupted code from your system so that your NinjaTrader can run correctly. We want you to be able to run. We want you to be able to use the system. We want you to have it working correctly. So we provide that support, and we don't provide it by way of a video. Oh, here, go watch this video. We do support live. If you drop into our training room and you have a support issue, we will do our best to get it solved right then. There's an occasion that comes up where we're tied up and we have to push your support back an hour or two, but we will get it resolved for you. It's one of our pet places in our company is its support. So I know you guys didn't come to hear all that history and everything, but it's important that you understand that history as we go through the rest of this, because I want you to understand that we're behind this and we stand behind it 100%, and we want you to be successful. So what I want to do is I want to examine some very simple Kwik Pop trades. There are basics. They're the things that we build our daily trading sessions on. And rather than me building these trades out and showing you pictures from some cherry-picked market, what I thought I would do in particular for this event is that I would shift over to a live chart, and I will put the indicators together on the chart for you and I'll do a brief explanation of what they are and what they do, and then we'll look at 4 or 5 different markets across the spectrum so that we get something from all the areas so that you guys can see the performance that comes with having Kwik Pop. All right, so let me switch over to screen sharing right quick. And you should not, yeah, you do. Okay, so this is NinjaTrader 8. The skin is slightly different. However, it's still very similar in all ways to the way that NinjaTrader 7 functioned. This is a base dynamic power bar, which they're our own dynamic power bars, and they're set as a 4-1 dynamic power bar. And what that means for you as a trader is that each of the body of the bar is 4 ticks from top to bottom. A reversal bar is twice that, it's 8. Each new bar in a downtrend is a 1 tick offset, so it's 1 tick down. And each new bar in an uptrend is a 1 tick up offset. It gives it what the dynamic power bar cleans the noise out of the chart. If you looked at today in a 3-minute bar or something, you would see that it was all noisy and all choppy. And this cleans it all out and gives you a nice smooth looking chart and makes it a little easier to make decisions. Now, the first thing that we did is at Kwik Pop was we took this indicator goes back with Wayne and Dick probably back 15 years. And it's called Scorecard Color. What Scorecard Color does is it takes 9 conventional technical analysis indicators and it measures them for net long, net short. If it's net long, it paints the bars blue. If it's net short, it paints the bars red. If it's not net long, not net short, it paints the bars yellow. With an up bar, we paint, if the bar closes up, we paint that bar as a hollow bar. So when you see this applied, what you see is you see a very clear indication. So net long, the market turns net long. Let me see if I can, here we go. Market turns net long here. Neutral, 2 net shorts, and back to the long side. Back short, short, net long, and then the open of the day was right along in here, I think. Actually, it was back here, and net long. This is a 4-bar chart. If you convert it to a 6 chart, you find a little bit smoother market. However, it doesn't trade as often. So basically, you build the chart for the style of trader that you are. Are you a swing trader? You want to use a longer time frame. If you're a scalper, then you want to use the smaller time frames. Additionally, years ago, Wayne set about bringing in a piece of information that's called pivot to color. And basically what pivot to color does is it identifies the hard, true, a scalper in the, using our software would use a 2, 3, or a 4 chart. Pivot to color creates all the hard pivots in a chart. It identifies those pivots utilizing color markers for you. When the market's up and you make a high or low pivot, pivot to color paints blue lines underneath the market. When the market turns down, the market paints red lines indicating that the trend is changing. If the market is neutral, it'll paint a pivot low or a pivot high, and you'll have white at the bottom and white at the top. And if you scroll back over some days, you can see that over time this identifies the absolute movement of the market. It identifies the trend, and it does not go back and repaint or move these pivots. We give you warning with the first line. When the second line locks, the pivot is locked. So when you get to this point, that pivot is locked. It's not going to change. It's done in real time. You don't have to wonder if that's the real pivot. It is the real pivot. It is the real spot. Next, we created a product after I took over the company. One of the things that has always baffled me, a trend in the right manner, and having it where you, the trader, can see the reality of that trend. Our programmer and I got together and we went to work on creating something called Trend Cutter. We use that name because it cuts you into the trends as they're forming. It gives you a recognizable method to see the change take place in the pivot or in the trend. And we're all about the trend. There's an old saying, the trend is your friend, against the trend is your end. This will clearly identify those places where the trend is changing and places where minor pullbacks may not be a true change of trend. In addition to that, the first of our multi-time frame tools is this one, and it's called Trend Context. And basically what it does is it brings in Trend Cutter from a larger time frame, so you can readily see the market in the larger time frame without ever leaving your chart. This trend context that I just put on here, this is a 6-bar chart on a 4-bar. You can make it an 8 if you like. And all of the sudden, little pullbacks like this are not real. And you see that. In addition, Wayne and Dick both did some amazing work with momentum, and they created an indicator called KP Medium. And KP Medium runs down here at the bottom, and it measures the directional momentum of the market. It's moving you, your momentum, as your momentum builds, it's moving up with you. And they did something, they were somewhat pioneers. I've always been I've always admired Wayne's work in particular. And one of the things that he did here is he took this momentum indicator and he inserted a moving average of the indicator, and that's this white line here. So we now mark, and they built this piece of this. I don't want to take credit for something I didn't do. Whenever the market's momentum shifts above its average, it paints a blue arrow for you, giving you a heads up that the momentum has shifted. When it paints, or when the momentum shifts downwards, it paints a red arrow, letting you know, again, the momentum has shifted the other way. In addition, there are two other pieces I want to pop on here right quick. One is called auto stop. And auto stop is kind of our line in the sand. If you auto stop, again, it looks like perhaps a moving average, but in reality, what auto stop is it's a momentum oscillator that's been scaled to price. When price is above auto stop, the market can be said that the momentum is moving upwards. When price is below auto stop, it can be said that the momentum is moving downwards. You don't want to be long underneath auto stop or short above auto stop. It's just not a good idea. The other thing that we added as a multi-time frame, and again, we added this because it gave us some additional information that made it readily easy to stay in a market without any problem. Okay? And what that information was an indicator called auto stop time frame. So what we're doing here is we're bringing in auto stop from an 8 chart, just like this is from an 8-bar chart. This dotted line is also from the 8 chart, showing us what the longer term trend is doing. That's the core of Kwik Pop 6. About 20 years ago, I started trading, and I spent some time around a guy. A lot of traders owe their fact that they're in this business to a guy named Larry Williams, and I clearly owe mine to him. I read one of his books years ago called The Money Tree, and I spent a lot of time around Larry and got to know him, and he introduced me to a concept called the Commitment of Traders Report. And if you trade commodities, you don't want to trade against the commitment of traders. The commitment of traders shows you whether or not the large traders are net long or net short. And that's a great theory if you position trade and you hold trade for days, weeks, months, whatever. It's a great idea. What I couldn't figure out was how to use that information on a day-to-day basis. I would put trades on, and the market it'd be a perfect setup. The market would move 2 or 3 ticks, and I'd run into a brick wall and get slapped backwards the other way. And that bothered me for years, and I set about trying to find a way to recognize in real time what that Commitment of Traders report was about, what the commercial traders were doing. They're the only ones I care about. They're the ones that move the market. So are they net long or are they net short? What are they doing? So 3 years ago when I bought Kwik Pop, the very first, after we talked about the dynamic power bars, the next conversation I had with the programmer was, I want to find a way to identify where the commercial activity's at and what they're thinking. And Bruce told me, he said, so would the whole world. I said, well, I want to find it. And it took about 8 months, and Bruce created for me something we call the dynamic power zones. In trading, the commercial traders are the big guys. They're the ones with the power, guys. All we want to do is catch a ride with them. We're like the little pilot fish that live on the sides of big sharks. We just want to ride along with them. We want to get paid with them. So Bruce created for me, over a period of time, the dynamic power zones. The dynamic power zones take raw trade data right from the pits, and we process it through an algorithm that allows us to identify what they're doing, what they're thinking, and how we can take advantage of it. We process what are called spoofed orders, orders that are placed and pulled. We process completed orders. We process lot sizes. We compare that information across the whole range of the market. And what we've done is we've identified clearly the places where the commercial selling takes place, the places where the commercial buying is taking place. Readily available on every chart. It updates in real time. We process the data on our servers. The rust-colored bars are commercial selling. The blue ones are commercial buying. They give you a real picture of what's going on in the market from a commercial trader's standpoint. When you add that information into Trend Cutter, you now have a pretty good picture of what's going on in the market. We process that data. There's been a couple people who've tried to build something similar to this since we came out with these, and they've put them out on people's computers, and they take forever to process the data, and it just doesn't work very well. Ours is instantaneous. It processes. They never, once they're plotted, they don't change. You can go back and look at data at any spot in time backwards for about the last 2.5 years. We know for a fact, and I don't use that term very well, but we know that mathematically it gives you an edge. We've run the tests. We know that it gives you a significant edge in the market by knowing where. I'm not a big enough trader. That's the first tool in our dynamic power tools chest, is we're bringing you the data telling you where the commercial traders are. In addition to that, we plot the daily floor trader pivot locations. We plot 7 lines for you. We plot the daily pivot in yellow. We plot R1, 2, and 3 is up there somewhere. There's 3 each day. And we plot 1, 2, and 3 in the support data. Now, I've heard all the reasons of why that set of pivots. I will tell you that I've looked at probably every pivot system that's out there over the last 15 or 16 years. And the reason that I chose this set to incorporate into our system is because it's the most commonly used set of pivot locations on the market. It's still used in the big trading houses. It's still used by big individual traders, and it's still used by those that are in the know that are the small to medium traders. So we plot them automatically with the dynamic power zones. You don't have to worry about whether they're right. Our programmers keep up with them, make sure they're right, make sure they're plotted correctly. We plot them based on the daily pit. It used to be known as the pit session. Now it's called regular trade hours. We plot them on that. That's the numbers that the big traders use. Again, it gives you an identifiable system to trade from. Now, in that we plot the pivots on the chart that you're trading on, I found myself looking for the longer term pivots. For example, when's the last time a 12 chart made a pivot? When's the last time an 8 chart made a pivot? So we created an indicator that we call the dynamic power levels. And what they do is they identify the pivot confluences for you, and they plot them right on whatever chart you're trading on. The pivot confluences are the same, or close to the same colors. We try to keep our colors all similar, except the pivot confluences are all outlined in a thin white line, and the zones are outlined in a thin dark line. Makes them very easy to see. We knew going into the day today, we knew that there was a big pivot confluence at 29 or 2509. We knew that was the top of our market. Now it's also the top of the range for the last few days, but we knew that pivot was there because it's plotting across the top. We don't have to worry about it. It's there. We can see it. Somewhere down underneath of us, there it is right there, is the last time the big pivots formed underneath of us. So we know that there's support at the 93 area. We know that instantly. Now again, everything that I do is geared around what the big banks do. The big banks trade off of a larger time frame than most day traders are willing to trade on. They trade off of 15-minute charts and daily charts for the most part. My counterpart that hangs out with me a great deal is Mike, and he spent 30 years in the pits, floor broker, first for one of the big banks and then as what is known as a local in Chicago in the S&P pits. And as him and I have gotten to know each other over the last couple of years and shared our trading ideas, he shared with me a set of moving averages that go all the way back to when he was on the floor. And that was a 15-minute 9 simple MA and an 18 simple MA. Moving average of a 15-minute chart. In addition, he said, oh yeah, look at the same averages on a daily chart. And so I began watching them with him. And I got a pretty good education. And we created the last of the dynamic power tools which are the dynamic power time reference. And what they do is they plot two sets of moving averages on the chart, right on your trading chart. The dotted blue line is an 18 simple moving average from a 15-minute chart, scaled to this chart. The dotted gold line is a 9 simple moving average, scaled to this chart. The dashed gold line is a, there we go, I'm pointing on the wrong chart here. The dashed, here's the dashed, the 18 MA from a 15-minute chart, and the 9 MA from the 15-minute chart. This dashed line is a daily 9 simple moving average from a daily chart. And down here below us is the 18 MA from a daily chart. You don't have to have all those other charts up. In fact, you don't need them. The information's right here. When you combine all of this together, it gives you some nice clean signals to work with. It gives you a place where you can dependably look at trades and increase your probability of success. Again, closing over all the MAs, coming out of off of the daily MA doesn't get much better than that. Closing above the MAs doesn't get much better than that. Bouncing off of a daily MA. Closing under the MAs. Breaks the MAs and comes off of a daily pivot and supported by commercial buying activity. Closes above the MAs, supported by commercial buying. Under the MAs, supported by commercial selling. Here, bouncing off the MAs again, supported by commercial activity, coming off the daily pivot, supported by commercial buying. Again, enough information for you to make rational choices. In addition, when you bring it all together and process it all with NinjaTrader 8, it runs very clean, very simply. Adding another market is as simple as there we go. Is coming down here. You want to see a 5-minute chart of the ES? You can simply come right here and you can have a 5-minute chart in exactly the same place in exactly the same place. They're just a tab away. As far as I know, you can put as many charts in there as you want to. So for the guy that travels with a laptop and has trouble trading because he can only see one chart, this solves that problem. It's all right there. You can flip back and forth between them at any time, and you can put any symbol underneath of them. Now, I said we'd look at some other charts and some other time frames, so I'm going to speed up just a little bit because I'm going to run out of time here, and I don't want to do that. Here's a gold chart from today. All these charts will be today's charts, by the way. Again, commercial activity at a pivot, commercial activity at a pivot, bouncing off the MAs, and over here, more commercial activity bouncing off of MAs. This stuff happens over and over and over again. Here's coming off of the MAs again, anywhere in this area. Here's a pivot breaking above the daily rotational pivot. And all of it's supported by trend cutter. Uh, 60 currency traders. Not only do we plot the commercial activity for the currency futures, but I need to make this clear. We also plot them for the major pairs in the Forex. We bring data in from, I think, 4 different sources and process it the same way we do for the futures market. And it allows us to get a really good picture of what the commercial traders are thinking in the Forex market as well. And again, you can see short activity at a major pivot confluence, more short activity, more shorts, and in between all of them, the possibility of going back long between them. Okay, a little bit faster time frames. Here, the next 3 markets are a little bit faster markets, so I move those up to a 6 chart. This is the Nasdaq. Lots of people trading the Nasdaq again. It's kind of scary for me because the last time there were this many people trading it, the market crashed. Same thing, guys. You can see where the hyper commercial activity comes in and changes the market. You can see the bottoms here. You can see where it ran into a wall up here and sent it back down to here. Over and over and over again. In addition, YM, same thing, guys. Same exact thing. Selling, buying, 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 buying on top of a pivot confluence, and now bouncing off of another pivot confluence. Over and over again. And then the last one, I know there's some crude oil traders. Crude oil market's one of the most hyper markets that I know of out there. It bounces around a good bit. We identify where those spots are. And we give you the tools to recognize the turns. Complete trading system. Doesn't matter what you trade. Just real quick, let me see if I can get Kinetic Live connected as well. I can. And then let's run just a real quick, I'm going to run well, I thought it was euro dollar. Where's it at? There it is. Well, There we go. Euro dollar from the Forex. Commercial traders, pivot confluences, and a daily pivot system. The daily pivot system in the Forex is calculated slightly different, but you'll be amazed at how accurate they are. Again, commercial selling, higher pivot lows, higher pivot lows, higher pivot lows and commercial buying, higher pivot lows and commercial buying. Commercial selling comes in and sends it back down. Bouncing off of pivot confluences, commercial selling. If a trader pays attention, it's our genuine belief that in the Forex market, as much so as the futures market, that our dynamic power tools will change your trading life. So we also now offer what we consider to be the most complete futures training program out there. We call it our Kwik Pop Consistency Class. We work with you work with people that trade for a living. You learn how the markets move and why they move. You get a pro edge to become a consistent trader. Far too many people are chasing after buckets of gold in the trading business, when if they would just hit base hits every time, they would be amazed at how often they knocked it out of the park. And at the end of the year, they'd be truly amazed at their trading account. We teach you why you should trade from places you haven't thought about trading, how you should trade there, and then, as importantly, we teach you where you're at in the market, where the market could go, where the market should go, and where it should not go, allowing you to understand the market's movement on a day-to-day basis. And in addition to understanding it, how to take advantage of it. That's probably as important as anything, is being able to take advantage of it. Our consistency class is a 6-month educational program. It's live daily classroom that starts at 7:30 Central, Monday through Friday, and runs until just a few minutes before the markets actually open at 8:30. Then we move from the classroom into a live daily training trading room, where we call the market structure, the market locations, and the market's biases, and help you understand what's going on so that you can take advantage of that. The only goal for this class is for you to become a consistent trader and to help you find profitability on a consistent basis. In addition to, the 6-month program includes our software. It includes the classroom, the daily training, and it includes what we call one-on-one mentoring as needed. I set time aside every afternoon. Well, most afternoons. I didn't today because of this event, but most afternoons I set time aside to work one-on-one with the traders that need it, to help them overcome the things that are in their way. If you subscribe to the indicators only, we have our Kwik Pop training site. It's kwikpoptraining.com. It's also, you can go to kwikpop.com, and there's a link right there under the training tab straight to our training site. That site includes videos, manuals. Every time you install Kwik Pop, you get included in the download is it's a 101-page training manual, and you get the Kwik Pop 6 update manual included as well. We offer a free training room that's open Monday through Friday from about 7:30, 8 o'clock every morning until 8:30 in the afternoon. Now, normally I would go a lot farther, but I got a little sidetracked there, and we didn't get into, or we went into charts a little farther than I normally do. I will tell you again that our support is over the top. We want you running. We want you to understand what Kwik Pop is, what it will do, how it will do, and we want it running correctly on your machine. If you have a problem, we want you to reach out to us. Okay? We want you to let us know. Paul, we're not a lemming room, if that's what you're asking for. We never call exact trades. That's not what we're about. Guys, there's 1,400 of those kinds of rooms out there. I absolutely refuse to participate in that activity in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But yeah, my account's readily available. I make my living trading, so does Mike. And Mike hangs out with me most days. We're about taking you, a trader, if you're actually a trader, from wherever you are. Yes, absolutely, David. Absolutely. The consistency class is supposed to be $49.99 a month, or for 6 months. I made a reduction to it. This is the last of these classes for a while. This class is going to run from October 9th for 6 months, and it's going to be $34.99, which includes the dynamic software subscription, the training room, the one-on-one mentoring, and about an hour a day of class. There's not a better bargain out there anywhere, and I don't think there's a better educational program out there anywhere. However, I want you, the traders, to be certain of it. So if you will simply go to this link, Ryan just put this link in there for you, kwikpop.com class. If you'll register, we will bring you into the room next week, Monday through Wednesday, and we'll let you look over our shoulders. Our traders are there. You're welcome to ask them questions. Some of them are a little rough around the edges, so be prepared. They're real people. We're real people. We're real traders. We train traders. In addition to that, for anybody that just doesn't want to come to our consistency room, we understand that. If you want to take a free trial of our software, you can go to kwikpop.com or the kwikpop.com class page, and there's a link on every page of our website for a full 2-week free trial to our software. We invite you to join us and look over our shoulder. If you have questions, I'm going to shift back over to my screen. I think it shifted it over, didn't it? Yeah, I think it's up. If you have questions after this that you don't feel got answered, you can reach me at my office at 972-352-5767. If it's in the mornings, I ask that you wait until after 11 o'clock in the morning. We're traders, and I try to trade, and I take all my calls. You can reach me directly at email at onekwikpop@gmail.com. For those of you that use Skype, I'm Bill Broughman in Arlington, Texas. I'm real easy to find. Just when you send the invitation, please include Kwik Pop in the invitation. I get beat up on all the time by random people from all over the world that think they looked at my profile and that I'm a good guy to talk to. In addition, if you are on a trial or one of our users and you're not aware of it, you can drop into our free training room at gotomeet.me/QuikPop. We open it about 7:30 a.m. Central Time, and we close it with the market. Guys, I'm out of time. Please register for our class. Go to kwikpop.com/class. Register for the class. We will bring you in for 3 days next week. The very worst case, you'll probably learn something. Core sales pitches. I'm just not built that way. And if you feel the need to talk to me directly, please reach out to me later. Give me about 5 or 10 minutes after this is over with to get a glass of tea, and then we'll go for. I'll be glad to take your calls if you have calls. I appreciate you spending the afternoon with us. I saw some old friends. Bhaskar, nice to see you made it in. I saw some other names, and I just don't remember who they were off the top of my head. For the guy who said he had a lifetime license, if you'll give me 5 or 10 minutes and then give me a call, I'll help you sort that out. Fitzroy, nice of you to take time to come to another one of these, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. Hines, I see you're here. Nice to see you, sir. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Ryan. Again, guys, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you all in our room next week. Thank you, Rick, for coming. You are more than welcome, Bhaskar. You are more than welcome, my friend. Ryan, it's all yours.
All right. Yeah, this is Ryan from NinjaTrader hopping back on. And I'd like to give a special thank you to Bill Broughman of Kwik Pop for his great presentation this afternoon. The NinjaTrader ecosystem is pleased to sponsor our weekly vendor events as a value-added service for all of our clients. So if you found value in these events, we would hope that you would attend them on a regular basis. And I'd like to remind everybody in the room today that the information that was provided in this presentation was that of Kwik Pop and not that of the NinjaTrader group. All of the information was for educational purposes and should not be construed as any sort of trading advice. And again, we appreciate all the time that you spend with us in these events. We hope that you would enjoy the rest of your day and hope to see you in our future events. And happy trading from all of us here at NinjaTrader.